Hello again. It's Friday. I'm Stephen Carlson, and this is a Sedona Method support call. And as usual, I'm going to start this call with a good long group release. And the topic this topic this week is releasing the burden of bearing witness. So once again, we're talking about current events, news. It seems to be a topic for me, but also for many others. There's a lot of things going on in the world, a lot of things going on in the news. So let's release the burden that some of us feel towards bearing witness, all of us. Just notice what comes up. For some of us, there's a feeling of responsibility, a feeling of duty. Good people don't look away. We have to bear witness to what's happening in the world. Just notice how that lands with you. Just notice any kind of reaction in the body, any kind of thoughts, images, memories, story. And take a breath or two and just be with that for a moment and notice. Actually, more than just notice, I'd like to invite you to a little curiosity. Explore a bit what's happening when you think about your duty to be informed, your sense of obligation to keep up with all that seems to be happening. I'm looking for that feeling of should, feeling of obligation. Good people don't look away. Good people stay informed. And just notice all that is in response to that. Breathe into it. Just let it be for a moment. And then check and see, is there any desire to look away, any opposition, any no, any resistance? Whatever came up, just allow that as best you can. Open to it and breathe. And notice also how this seems to be personal. It seems to be about you, no? You have this duty. You need to carry the burden. So, as much as that's here, can you just open further and allow all that? And when you're ready, could you just let all this, could you drop? Would you? Are you willing? And when? Okay. So our topic is that sense that I have to bear witness to what's happening in the world. One more aspect of that is that sense that others are suffering. How can I be happy? I need to reach out and feel that. Almost an empathetic obligation to share. Notice if that brings up anything for you. Others are suffering. How can I look away? And just notice how that resonates in the body-mind. Notice any thoughts, memories, images, sounds, belief. Open to that just as best you can. And then notice how this hits the body. Notice any tension, discomfort. Have a look at the body and notice how the body reacts. And then take a deep breath, and just as best you can you allow all this to be for now? Let's focus on the body for a moment and just notice the body in all of its reactions, whatever tension, discomfort, unease. Just open to that as best you can. Breathe it in. Invite up even more. And so notice that whatever's being felt in the body has actually got some connection to what I've said. Or does it? Just for now, could you drop all meaning? Could you let go of wanting this to mean anything? And would you let go of wanting this to mean anything? And when? Take another few deep breaths and just to settle. So let's go back to the beginning. Topic is letting go of the burden to bear witness. What's happening in the world, the news, current events, the craziness. Underneath all of this, you may also notice a sense of frustration about it, because what can I do? Maybe simply being aware of what's happening in the world is the best that I can do, but check and see. Deep down, you may discover also a sense of powerlessness, a sense of, what can I do? And if you dig a little deeper, you may even discover frustration or even anger. Feeling of helplessness provokes anger, frustration. What can I do? So just notice what's true for you and allow whatever is coming up to be just as best you can when you think about, what can I do? And see if you can open just a bit more, even just a bit more. And then check and see. Is there any desire to just block all this? Run away? Ignore? Resist? Any desire for control? It's a natural reaction for many of us. So whatever comes up for you, can you just allow that and even welcome that just as best you can? Be here. It's here anyway. And once again, notice how it all seems to be pointing at me, that sense of I, me, who I am, the individual. But what can going to stop there, are we? Let's check. Can you find that individual? Can you find that sense of person? Can you find the one who feels this way? And whatever comes up, could you welcome that, allow that, rest in that, just for a moment? And then notice all that comes up in relation to this topic. Desire, that need, feeling of obligation to bear witness to the suffering of the world. Notice that's actually just an expression of love, isn't it? You don't have to accept my answer. Check and see what's true for you. What if that is just an expression of love? Could you welcome that? And notice also within the center of all of this, there is a piece of you, a part of you, that's completely unaffected. That rests at all times in peace. Check and see. It's that inner stillness. Inner wholeness. The oneness that all is. Just check. Just allow it to be. Allow yourself to be. And just notice what it. As best you can you allow this to be your answer, your response, your rest? That feels good for now, I think. Good. Welcome, everybody. So we all know how this works, but I'll just state the obvious. This is a support call. So I welcome anybody to raise a hand, ask a question, ask for support, share a gain. And I can also take this opportunity to remind you I work one-on-one as well. And I'm going to paste information about that into the chat because I realize I've forgotten to do that. And yeah. There we go. Just a second here. Boom. So let's see. Ronnie has raised a hand. Welcome. What's up, Ronnie?
Hi, hello, Stephen.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, more or less I'm good.
Oh, okay. We're going to move on to the
And
next caller now. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Go ahead.
that's also possible. As something that's really common, I think, by a lot of people.
Sure.
I'm just noticing that I really feel myself like a doer instead of just being,
Hmm.
and it ignores me. At least, yeah, it takes me ignore. I don't think that's good. So
You
it
said
takes energy from me.
it annoys you. Is that what you said? Because your microphone
Yeah.
is a little bit unclear. I think maybe
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can speak into the microphone. So it
Yeah,
annoys you that.
it annoys me so much that uh, I cannot stay in being the whole day. So going out and only when I'm meditating, I'm in
Mhm.
for my feeling. And on the other hand, I already know that's all the other things that doesn't feel like I'm being, it's still being. So
Okay.
it also has to do, for instance, with getting money, and then uh, if you have the money, then you need to spend the money. Uh, I still, I still have this feeling that I still need to do a lot to. Uh, I think something like I need to do those things and to get the income, and just to. I think it has to do something with safety, but I don't know exactly. But I was just thinking about releasing on it.
It's a wonderful topic. Let's do that. And I think this is something
Mhm.
we can all do together. So let me just go ahead and ask you to mute for a moment, and I'll just go ahead and do this as a
Yes, of
group
course.
release, and we can come back. I think that's what this really is. It's a very core conflict that we all have,
Hmm.
which is that sense that I have to be the doer. If I don't do it, nobody else will. I have to go out and earn the money. I have to fix the car. I have to get out, hustle, push, make it happen. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, yeah, that it is. Whereas if I'm at my work and then you have a video call or you're there,
Yeah.
you have this feeling that you really need to do those things.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
And the other hand, and I also know that if I don't do it, it still will be done.
Hmm.
But I don't know uh, how to get there, something like that. So there's also a way of uh, wanting to get there, wanting to know it, or
Hmm. Oh, I'm getting a
whatever it
piece.
is.
Actually, let me ask you guys. I'm getting a piece of criticism here that I'm not speaking. I'm not coming up loudly enough. Is this better?
I don't have the problem.
Uh-huh. Well, I'll hold my microphone to my mouth a little bit and see if that helps. Oh,
Mhm.
good, good. All right. So let's just do this. Go ahead and do a group release.
Good.
So just notice everybody, the sense that you need to be the one. You need to get it done. You need to be the do. Something we all feel. All of this releasing and meditation is wonderful, but don't you actually have to get up and walk out the door and do it? Just it's sense that I have to push, I have to get it done. Very, very core, and especially here in the Western world where we're so focused on time and productivity and money, right? You can't just sit there waiting for the coconut to fall from the tree. So just notice a sense of I pushing, doing. Notice all that comes up, the memories and the beliefs, stories. Notice also the feelings in the body. Just could you allow all of this open to it, give it space, and then check and see. Doesn't there also come this desire to just resist it all, push it away, crawl under a, no, I'm not even getting out of bed. Just notice any resistance that comes up to that feeling. It's the push and pull, the yes and the no. And just allow that as best you can. And notice also any sense that this is about me, the individual, struggling against a heartless, cruel world, holding up the world. And just for now, could you let all drop? Just let go of the burden. And would you? And notice also the ease, the emptiness, the very, very heart. Open to that as best you can and just allow it to be. It's also there. To ask you, Ronnie, do you have a sense of what I'm pointing to?
Yeah, I do.
But
It's also great so much because when you were doing this, and thing is getting to me is feels that I'm in the red race.
oh, I didn't hear that last word.
It feels like I'm in the red race.
Oh, the rat race.
Yes,
Well, okay.
and it doesn't matter so much what I'm doing. If you have work, you don't have work, you still turn around. You do that things.
Hmm. Okay. So just for now, could you allow yourself to be a rat in that race? Just notice how that feels when you believe it to be true. But here, Ronnie, I'm just going to ask you, isn't that just a story?
It is. It is.
It's a very powerful one.
Yeah.
A lot of us like to tell each other that, the rat race. And then you find that a lot of people are trying to escape the rat race, et cetera,
Yeah.
right?
And that's also to do with this is that sometimes you have a person that you meet and then you have to do some work so that you cannot have the time with that person that you want to have because you need to work from 9 to 5. On the other hand, if you don't have that work, then you want to have that work. So it's always,
Right. Yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
yeah,
Exactly right, yeah. And you want to know what the craziest thing is? Some of the most unhappy people I've met are the people that actually do have money and so-called freedom. So,
Mhm.
mm, so just notice all of that. That's a story, but it's a very powerful one.
Mhm.
So just notice that it feels true and allow it to feel as true as it seems to. Personal, threatening, burdensome. But notice also, if you're open to this, it also feels empty. It's a story. Once you look at it closely, you can see it. I'm going to go back and forth a little bit holistic. Okay. So just notice how heavy it seems, how real the story
Mhm.
seems, the rat race. And notice also how empty it is. Trans- it's really just a story. It doesn't have any meaning. It doesn't have any substance, any reality. It's just made up. And then notice also how real it seems to be, the story of the rat race. And notice how unreal the whole thing truly is. You put your arm right through it, has no substance. Now let me check in, Ronnie. You have a sense of where we're going with this?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what's here now?
But I can still, what I can see is that there are stories. So that's something that I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and it still feels real that
Hmm.
you are doing that rat race. Uh, you have to be nice to people, to give some attention to people. So there's a lot of also figuring out how to just let life go like it goes and just noticing it.
Mm-hmm. Well, so doesn't life always go like it goes?
Mhm.
Right. So, so it's also obvious to us. Things just happen as they happen, but there's still that sense of me. I have to be the center of the whole. In my experience, this just doesn't change. It just becomes less compelling, meaningful. I mean, so what? It's like what you said at the
That's
very
true.
beginning of the call. You said, I feel like I have to do and I can't just be. But of course, how could you not be? You always are. There always is
Mhm.
beingness. And so, could I suggest a little practice, maybe? Or
Yes, of course. Yeah.
yeah, it's the simplest thing. You don't really. I mean, meditation is a wonderful thing. What we're doing is also a form of meditation, as far as I'm concerned.
Mhm.
For me, the simplest practice is just to catch myself once in a while in a busy day when there are things going on and it starts to feel like, come on, more, push, push. All it takes is just a moment to notice that. You can sit down just for a moment, take a breath, and just check in. The very, very center, always, at all times, there's that rest, beingness. All you need to do to access that is to ask yourself, what's here now? And just check in. You have a sense of that? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's also why I'm asking the question.
Yeah. So
So when I'm having some of those senses,
Mm-hmm.
and it still feels, but I think it's also similar to the human thing. It feels still like a problem.
Well, so, okay, then. It feels like a problem. Could you just focus on that feeling you just identified? It still feels like a problem. And where is that coming from? Is that the body? Is that the mind? Is it a thought, a sensation?
More way of thinking, like, why is there not a school that tell you how to do it?
Say that again. Why is there not a school?
That tells you how to do it, how it tells you to do things and also be.
Oh, welcome to school.
Mhm.
So this is core to the human experience. I think we all know this and experience this. We all feel that pressure to do.
Mhm.
And yet, when you just take a moment, when you notice that, you can check into the stillness, peace. And the more that we come back to this, the easier it becomes. That's really the practice. It's just remembering again and again. It's like walking on
Mhm.
the balance beam. You fall off, you get back up again. That's all it is. And it's just a continuous practice.
Yeah, that's not really true what you say. And that's also what I am having. That I'm just relaxed and the intuition will come to certain things,
Mm-hmm.
but it just feels as if you're really doing mode, if I can say it like that.
So,
Then
mhm.
then it doesn't feel so much that your intuition is doing something and then you're overdoing or not. Something like that. That makes sense.
It does. And the key really is this feeling that you have to push. Would you feel that way if you didn't care?
Oh.
Therefore, would you be open to the possibility that even that is a form of love?
Mhm.
Even that sense that I have to push, I have to make it work. Although that doesn't feel good, it's really truly trying to work for your benefit, trying to help you, bring you to a better place. It's actually a form of love that might be a little bit misguided
Mhm.
because what you'll notice, it immediately creates that sense of resistance. That's the catch. If you notice it and you don't like it, you resist. So what happens if you notice it and you welcome it and thank it?
That's a good one because it costs really a lot of energy to
Does,
resist it.
of course. And there are whole industries devoted to resisting that, called the
Mm.
entertainment industry. One,
That's
anyway.
also true. Yeah. It's
Yeah, yeah,
also true.
exactly. But the reality is that you wouldn't feel that sense of I need to push if you didn't care. And even that sense of I need to push is itself a misguided sense of love.
Mm. Yes.
The natural feeling is, oh, I don't want to feel this, the resistance. So my suggestion is try the opposite. When you feel that sense that I have to push, welcome it as love. Even that's trying to help and see what happens.
Okay. Thank you.
Great question. I like that. Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's one of the core releases that we keep coming back to again and again, and that's fine. We can attack it, approach it from all different kinds of angles, but essentially it's just a feeling it's actually just a sense of love has been my discovery. Okay, so I'm just going to check in with the group again. Anybody else like to raise their hand? Anybody else like to ask a question, get a little support, share a gain? Maybe we're all feeling tremendous release, and that's good enough for now. That'd be wonderful. Oh, Senley, hi.
Hi, Stephen. How are you?
Good. Good to hear you again. What's on your heart?
So, I think we can just stay on the same topic somewhat, but just address the resistance in it. I totally get what he's saying, and I can totally relate. Feeling like I'm in that hamster wheel and the rat race of everything. I have so many gains and many things to be grateful for, and even when I have the big wins, then it's almost like I'm like, okay, now what? Like now what am I supposed to do? Like to keep it's almost like I'm supposed to keep going so I can keep all the wonderful things, or I'm gonna lose it if I don't
Mm,
stay in this place of striving and instead of just relaxing into it and enjoying the gains.
mhm. So is that the feeling of now? Is that feeling here?
I think I feel like this all the time. Like my husband even said to he's like, honey, you don't even know how to relax. And my kids said the same. They're like, you don't even know what that means to relax. Cause even if I'm trying to relax, I'm still trying to do everything. And my mind's going 100 miles an hour. What do I need to do now to make it's almost like I'm trying to prevent whatever's coming my way that's bad. Like, how do I prevent that bad thing from happening? And I don't even know what that is.
Right,
It's just looming over me.
right. Well, let's just explore that with a little curiosity. The first question is really, is that you? You say it's I feel like this, I have to. Is that really you?
Uh, no.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when I think about it, I guess when all these great things happen anyway, I'm not even the one doing that. Um, it just happens. And you know,
Mhm.
it's like I actually created it. I think there's a sense of me that thinks that I did, but instead of just being the witness.
Mhm. Well, there's another habit that a lot of us have, which is that, if I'm not worried, if I'm not anxious, that just means I don't love enough,
Mm,
right?
eh,
So the worrying about other people, worrying about the situation, constantly looking for what might be wrong, that's actually another manifestation of love. Not a very useful one, unfortunately. You see where I'm coming from, don't you?
Yes.
And it seems to me that, you may notice also, that seems to be a pretty strong expression of love, personally.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So just notice all that energy that goes that way. And it doesn't have to be a negative. You can decide that it's a negative, and that just starts the hamster wheel, right?
Right.
Right. So what other options do we have?
Breathing into it.
Mhm. I think it's so important to also notice the energy goes into all of what you've described, right?
Right.
And so what if you could just match that with love, or even just accept that as love, rather than trying to stop criticizing it, wanting it to be different.
Yes.
Okay, so it just happens that this body mind, we call Senli, has that habit, right? Other folks have different habits, different ways. So what? Of course, the ones that, happen to be Stephen's habit, let's not talk about those. Those are terrible. The rest of the world, they can have their failings, right? But mine, no, that's terrible. So suddenly is a worrywart. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Oh, terrible. What a criminal. Let's lock her up immediately. Right? So what if there's just a big so what? You're certainly not the only person who works in that way. I'm sure you can think of other people that have similar feelings or similar habits, no?
Right. My father was a worrywart.
What a surprise to hear that. And so he taught you well.
Yes, he did.
And what if that was just an attempted gift of love? That's the way that he understood love, and that's what he taught you. Why not?
That's a good point.
Well, it also points out the fact that it's not even personal. That isn't something that you came up with. That isn't something that's unique to Senli. It isn't your unique crime, right?
Right.
It's just a pattern. I could name 5 people like that I know, worrywarts. I'm not one of them necessarily, but I've got one right next door. Sure. Yeah. It's just another form of misguided love. That's really what that is. And the saying no to it is what makes it painful. The should and the should. Yeah. There may be some advantages. I mean, let me guess. Senli does happen to catch mistakes now and then, right? You do happen to prevent a disaster here and there. Could be. Sometimes it does also have a result. I'm saying to
Yes, that's true.
you. Right.
Yeah.
In
A
fact,
lot of my career was very successful because my ability to problem solve and prevent issues. And then I realized, wait, the more I identify with being a problem solver, then I got to have problems to solve. So
yeah, put your
I need to
finger.
let go of that identifying with that so that there are no problems. And then there's nothing to solve.
Uh-oh. And then what happens? And then what do I do? What do I do the rest of my time on the planet?
Right. Which I guess that's the question. Well, now what? Now what?
Well, you've done very well. Now I need you to sit in the corner and just be for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
Is that going to happen? Probably not. Yeah. Unless you're sitting in a monastery or a nunnery, probably isn't happening. So, yeah, Senli is a worrywart. So what? There's a little piece of advice which is not unique to me. I got this from Dr. David Hawkins, who's an interesting teacher. So the idea is that part of you, that worry wart, is that really you?
No.
Mhm. Well, so maybe you could just give it a name. I mean, the idea is that it's really just a manifestation of the mind or the ego.
Yes.
So what? Just treat it like a pet. You know, it's worry wart suddenly. Little overactive today. Oh dear. What can we do? Right?
Exactly.
Mhm. Yeah. There's an aspect of Stephen which I call Fritzy. You know, it's the perfectionist, right? The Prussian, sitting up straight, getting it right. Fritz. A little overactive today, right? Is it you? You know, it's not necessary to demonize it. There's no need to solve it, stop it, reduce. It isn't you. It's just an aspect of the ego that's trying to help, but maybe just a little bit. What's the word I'm looking for? Lame, misguided, gimpy, right? Whatever you want to say. So this isn't Senli. This is just an aspect of Senli. Give it a name. You know, it's just a habit. It's just a tendency. It doesn't have to be hated, pushed aside. It can be loved, it can be cherished as well. No?
Yeah.
Like you said, it's what made you successful in your career. What's the problem? It's just a little overactive sometimes. Huh? In fact, here's the crazy thing, Senli. If you love someone, then actually, I'll just ask this of you rather than tell you, but have you ever noticed that when you love someone, it's their flaws that kind of become endearing just a little? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's our flaws, our cracks that make us human and lovable. You know, it's the sense of the perfection within the imperfection. Oh, there's Senli. She can be a bit much sometimes. Well, you know. Oh, there's Stephen. Boy, he every once in a while that guy will.
Hmm.
We're not here to be perfect, are we?
We already are, even in our imperfection.
Even those imperfections, manifestations of the love that is. It's the craziest part, you know. And this applies to absolutely everybody and everything. Hmm. I mean, to go back to the topic of the group release today, the burden of what's happening in the world and all this. Isn't it possible that the world is just full of people doing their best in some way? Even this. There are some people that are convinced that, you know, rounding people off the streets, you know, rounding up people is the best way to, however, that's how they think. That's how they feel. May not be true to me. Clearly, it seems to be true to them. That might be a stretch. You have a sense of,
Yes.
yeah. So, can you think of any example, any recent story when Senli was a little bit too like that?
Sure. When my kids were younger,
Mm-hmm.
probably, especially when they were teenagers.
Oh, all right. Well, that's actually a story from the past. Does it, are there any stories from today, this week? Well, that was a little too much, whatever.
Uh, Gosh, I don't know. I can't think of the stories right now. I feel quite released.
Well, in that case, can I point out that the best that you could do is come up with a story from the past? It's for teenagers. They're not teenagers now, I assume.
Well, they're young adults and they're just fine and
Huh?
very, very healthy, well-adjusted adults.
Well, there you go. That means you're a failure, right? No. So I'm going to point out to you the best you could come up with in the moment was a story from many, many years, several years ago, let's say.
Hmm.
Doesn't that really point to the fact that all of this is just a
Yes.
story? And it may still be there, those tendencies, right? But it doesn't sound like those tendencies are as strong as they used to be. Would you agree?
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily have releasing back then. So we have
True.
releasing now.
But then that worry wart still has to come up and say, well, yeah, but still, look, there's this tendency. It's still trying to help. Yeah. And this is an interesting clue for us all. Most of what we tend to think of as problems are actually just the past. And the concern is that it happens again in the future.
Wow. Exactly.
But there's something important that has happened between now and then, right? Between the past and now. And that something is awareness. The awareness bring to this practice, the awareness that we bring to our lives, it does tend to soften these things. That doesn't mean that we still don't come to the support call saying, I need help because the mind is always there to say, well, it could happen again. Yeah. Then may I thank you from all of the rest of us for caring so much that you devote or have devoted so much time to worrying about these.
You're welcome.
There you go.
I worried in it for all of us.
There you go. To all the rest of us in the call, that means don't worry because she's got it, right? She's going to worry enough for all of us. So, okay, I guess that's the
How
end of
about
the
your
call.
business?
Mm-hmm. And by the way, just a clue for everybody else out there. When it comes to laughter, this is always a good sign. The more that we can laugh at ourselves and our so-called failures or failings or flaws, you notice that there are people who can't laugh at themselves, right? You've noticed this?
Huh.
That's a huge red flag or a warning, I think, Very, very healthy to laugh at yourself. not in a, there's a difference also. It's not laughing at in a kind of a cruel. It's just more like finding there's a sweet,
Making everything lighthearted.
lighthearted. Thank you. That's, yeah. Yeah.
No.
Here's an interesting question again, since we started with current events. Can you imagine the president of the United States laughing in a genuine belly laugh with smiles?
Yes.
I'm not sure I can quite. I mean, yes, but yeah, maybe, I don't know. But that side actually is the human side. Actually, yeah, there is a sense of humor to the whole thing if you really look at it.
Exactly. I think when he puts stuff out there, he makes himself laugh all the time.
Mm, mm, mm.
I think it amuses himself.
I think if you can see the humor in it, it's so important. That's the humanity, isn't it? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wow. What a wonderful question. Actually, that's a gain as well, Senley. I think you've just pointed that out as well. What you've just told us is that, in fact, all the things that you consider to be your flaws, more or less the past, aren't they?
Hmm.
So what you thought you were coming to this call with a problem, but what you're really doing is sharing a gain. Is that right?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really don't have any problems right now.
That doesn't mean the mind's not going to continue looking for them.
Hmm.
And maybe finding them too from time to time, what it thinks could be problems. You know?
It's funny. I was just coming out of a meeting and I was sitting there waiting before I go to my next thing. And I thought, oh, well, and then I start looking at my bank accounts and it was almost like I was looking for a problem.
Mhm.
And all the bank account, all of them were like, oh, that one. Oh, like I'm doing pretty, like all of my accounts were,
That one's full too?
yeah, it was just, and I'm like, okay. And then I move on. So then it's almost like I'm looking for a problem when instead of just being grateful for where I am. Like I'm wearing a t-shirt and yoga pants today. And I mean, I remember the day when I had to be in suits every day and I don't now.
Yeah. How about that?
Wear whatever I want. I mean, some days I may dress up, but I don't, it's, and I'm sitting here worried like, man, I want to retire. And well, my husband was like, well, I mean, you kind of are. You just have it because you chose not to. But I mean, you're kind of, if you want to be, you can be.
Mm-hmm. Lovely. So, yeah, there is a sense of gratitude even for that which seeks out problems. You
You seek out from.
know?
So now I decided not to identify as a problem solver. So I don't have any problems. So now I'm like looking for them because they're not showing up.
Well, maybe you need to go out and create problems. How about that? And then you can be busy solving them.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Mm. Love.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah. Thank you,
I
son.
feel better having a nice little giggle.
No kidding. Exactly. Yeah. I think I'll share an observation here. Have you ever tried laughter yoga? And this is for anybody else. Call anybody listening. I don't do it now, but when I lived in Budapest for many years, I would every Monday morning take a bus out to a hill, middle of the city. And there on the top of the hill overlooking the town, city of Budapest, just a whole bunch of strangers standing in a circle. And then the ringleader steps out and he starts there's a little ritual with laughter yoga, which is, a whole bunch of things that we do, which are supposed to be kind of funny, and you fake laughter. In the beginning, you start by faking. And again, a circle of strangers park in the middle of the city, and you're all standing around and kind of going, ha, 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 ha. The next thing you know, it's like, oh, now this is actually getting really ridiculous. And you start to really find it funny you're doing this. And what happens is you're looking into the eyes of strangers with this just most intimate trust, openness, and joy. So laughter is a wonderful game. So,
Thank you for sharing that. I actually volunteer teaching the 5 mindfulness to the underserved areas in our city in Houston.
wonderful.
I'm gonna do that in our class and do a laughter yoga instead.
You can definitely look online. There are groups meeting everywhere, and it's very, very simple to get started with it. There's actually a wonderful video with John Cleese, Monty Python. He's also a huge fan of laughter yoga. You wouldn't be surprised to know that.
I think the kids will find that funny.
Oh, with kids?
Yeah, it's the first through 4th grade and 5th grade, 1st through 5th grade, and then one of our wards. And I teach them, mindful stillness, mindful movement, mindful breathing, mindful reflection, and mindful eating. And of course, mindful movement is yoga. So we're gonna do laughing yoga. I think they'll find that very fun.
I can't imagine how they wouldn't have oodles of fun with that.
With the mindful breathing, I teach them the lion's breath. So we all get to roar, and they love that. So they take the deep breaths in, and then they roar it out. So they get to make loud noises and scream without getting in trouble.
Oh, who doesn't like to do that?
Exactly. I love it. I'm going to try that with them. I'll report back.
Oh, excellent. I expect a full and complete report. Thank you. Great. Okay. Oh, wow. Let me just take a breath. We've reached an hour's time. I'm still open to the next question if somebody wants to unmute and speak up, or we can end the call. Totally up to you guys.
I will go. I will say thank you. It's a really great topic. And have a good one.
Well, thank you, Ronnie. Okay, good. Yeah, well, I'll ask it once again. If anyone would like to ask a question, get some help, release, share again, this would be a good time. Otherwise, going once, going twice, done. Thank you all for coming to the call. It's been a good one. Enjoy this. You do too. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. So that's it for now.